Frustration and desperation on the rise since early hours of this morning after the news got out of Israel declared the intent of reoccupying the Gaza Strip and the approval of a large-scale military offense against the Gaza Strip. This has created much of the mayhem and much of the frustration among the displaced people. Let's not forget the Palestinians. The vast majority of them have been on constant displacement orders for the past 22 months from one place to another. Some have been displaced over 5 times, moving from one place to another, from one shelter to another, mainly shelters that are not proper, are not equipped enough, not designed enough to protect them and their families. There's also a sense of betrayal and abandonment as ceasefire talks dragged on for way too long without providing any proper protection for the civilians. People here started to pack up whatever left of their belongings, not because they know where they are going, but because they don't want to be caught at the moment. They want to be ready for the time the Israeli military is forcing them out. And of course, this is not their decision. They are going to be forced to leave their homes here and the shelters that they have been staying in for the past months and since they returned to the Gaza Strip. The plan sets off to impose a siege and occupy the Gaza City with at least 1 million people here scattered around the western part of the city, have been pushed by the Israeli military and cornered in this small area. As we talk to people, there is common thread about what they shared with us: the concern, the fear, the state of panic, that they're not sure what is going to be left of Gaza after the military operations, and they don't know where to go and if the places they are going to go to are safe enough for them, because past experience went on very bad for them. Many of the people who went into these evacuation zones have in fact been killed inside these evacuation zones. So there is a little mistrust going on here. The Israeli military promised evacuation zone where people in fact end up being killed in these areas. So the fear, the concern, the desperation are all on the rise, and it's not leaving people here. People are left with many of the questions that are not answered yet for them. Hani, Mahmoud, Al Jazeera from Gaza City, Palestine.
There's also been a global outcry against Israel's proposed capture of Gaza City and urging it to reconsider. The UN says any escalation of the conflict will have catastrophic consequences for Palestinians and possibly cause huge levels of humanitarian suffering. The UK, EU and regional powers such as Jordan, Saudi Arabia and Egypt have all condemned the plan. The Palestinian ambassador to the UN says he will be requesting an urgent sitting of the Security Council. Riyad Mansour has urged the international community to stop what he calls Israel's insanity.
This escalation by the Israeli government is going in total contradiction to the will of the international community, international law, and common sense, and I even dare to say against the wish of the majority of the people inside Israel as we read opinion polls. Therefore, it is the duty of the international community to act. President Abbas the presidency made a statement yesterday, and the president is contacting all leaders in all corners of the globe for everyone to act responsibly to avoid additional catastrophes against our people in the Gaza Strip. We had more than 60,000 that have been killed. Most of them are children and women. We have more than 200,000 killed, injured, or under the rubble. Enough is enough. We don't need more wars, more killing, more agonies, more occupation, more genocide. What we need is to stop this machine of war and to open doors for peace.
Well, for more on this, we're joined now by Gabriel Elizondo, who is at the United Nations for us. And Gabe, what more did Mansour say about the possibility of this UN Security Council meeting?
Well, this would be an urgent meeting. He said that there are several Security Council members that he expects will make the formal request for this meeting, and it could happen as early as this afternoon. If that happens, we would know probably in the next hour or so if that is able to happen. There are some logistical concerns, though. We are told that Panama holds the presidency of the Security Council this month, so they are responsible for essentially scheduling meetings. However, the Panamanian president is due to arrive, we are told, in New York later today. So that could complicate if Panama is able to arrange this meeting for this afternoon. If it does not happen this afternoon, we're told they're looking at perhaps having a rare emergency meeting on Saturday. But again, it's all very much up in the air. The key point here is that we are told there are several Security Council members that are wanting this meeting to happen as soon as possible, given the urgency of the situation.
Okay, we heard a little bit of it, but can you just talk us through the reaction that we've had from within the UN to this plan to seize Gaza City?
Yeah, it's firmly against it. That's the short answer. We should be hearing some more from the spokesperson for the Secretary General. He's due to give his daily briefing here in about 10 minutes or so, we are told. But we can tell you, we asked him about this even on Thursday before it was officially confirmed. And he said, listen, we'll have to see what ultimately transpires. But he said it would obviously have catastrophic consequences. And he said the UN, make no mistake, is, in his words, firmly against any military escalation by Israel, particularly occupation. He said already the ICJ has ruled against the occupation, and he said we would discourage Israel from any further occupation of Palestinian territory. This also complicates the UN, or potentially could complicate the UN in their attempts to try to deliver any aid that they can. The UN has a very small footprint in Gaza City right now due to the conflict, but the UN does try to get aid there when Israel allows, which is in a very rare instances. So we're going to ask the spokesperson here in this upcoming briefing how the UN plans to try to continue any aid, particularly into Gaza City, should Israel move forward with this plan. But obviously, the UN is already at grave risk. More than 300 UN personnel have been killed by Israel since October 7, 2003. The UN says no matter what, they plan to stay in all of Gaza for as long as they can.
Okay, thanks so much, Gabe, for that update. No doubt we will hear from you throughout the afternoon there. Gabriel Elizondo for us at the United Nations.
Don't miss out. Get a full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news, expert insight. Like, share, stay ahead.